I met Mr. Hardison during my second year here at West Potomac, the 2009-2010 school year. I was teaching over in the academy, pharmacy tech. The thing about Mr. Hardison that I think is rare to find was how available he was. And I'm not talking about being available in his office with the door open, because I think a lot of us have open door policies of sorts. But he was available in the sense that he was always present when he was with you. Even when you were in a group, he was present. There was nothing more important to him than the one-on-one conversation he was having with you at that moment, which is one thing I'll never forget about him. And one of my favorite qualities about him was that you were his sole focus when you had his attention.
Mr. Hardison was a truly good friend. I knew him when he was assistant principal when I was working at Jefferson. And he would always come and visit me on the weekends. And he would always stop by and bring me some lunch. And I knew him when he was the counselor at Edison when I graduated, and when he was working summer school at South County. And then he brought me back to Jefferson to work, and he was a truly good friend.
I'm the Director of Student Services at Glasgow Middle School. Previously, I was the Director of Student Services here at West Potomac, and Mr. Hardison was hard on me. He was very hard on me, and I know it was because he was the Director of Guidance here, and he saw something in me. One day we had a conversation, and he said he knew that what I could be, and he just pushed me to do better.
Most people don't know this. I've known Cliff longer than anyone else. Cliff and I started our teaching careers together back in 1975 at Godwin Middle School. I started actually in '74, and Cliff came the next year. And he taught 7th and 8th grade social studies and English, and I taught 6th grade social studies and English. So we had a lot in common. We also both coached together. We stayed there together for 4 years. And worked at church on Sunday, and he was there when my kids were born, and I still have gifts and stuffed animals that Cliff sent when both of my children were born. My son's now 35, majored in the Marine Corps. My daughter's now 32, almost 33. Cliff still, nearly the day he died, still asked about them anytime I saw him. After Cliff got done with VCU with his master's, he came, I saw his name on the list. I said, we got to hire this guy. I told Bob Clark, there's no more dedicated person than Cliff Hardison. So worked with Cliff there for about 2 years, and I moved on. Bob Clark got promoted and moved me to West Potomac, and about 6 months later a guidance director left, and we hired Cliff down here as a guidance director. And I probably still have 25 cards from Cliff that I got over the years. Just, you know, anytime I got a promotion or something happened in the family. When my parents passed away, I don't know how he found out, but he seemed to find out everything. And just one of those people, unforgettable character, and probably my best friend in education, or at least my longest friend. Cliff, miss you, and I'll never forget you.
I'm assistant principal at Whitman Middle School, former assistant principal at West Potomac High School. And Cliff was the assistant principal that has been inspiring me to do and go above and beyond the call of duty of what I've been doing lately. He's given me the opportunity to go to middle school not just once but twice, releasing me from West Potomac. The first time just for a semester so I could experience middle school. The second time was a permanent move where I'm at Whitman Middle School now, because he saw I have potential in me to aspire as a principal at a middle school than in a high school. Cliff likes to buy Starbucks for everyone, so Starbucks came out with a new coffee. Cliff would call or ask what kind of Starbucks I would love, and I always tell him a tall blonde, and he thought I was joking. So when he gets into the Starbucks this one time, he sees this, and he goes to the lady, and she goes, what type of coffee do you want? And the lady was a blonde. He goes, I want a tall blonde. And he was so embarrassed. But the lady gives him a tall blonde coffee, no sugar, no cream. But anyways, that's the way Cliff was. Comical. Cliff, you're going to be missed. You're going to be loved by many.
I've heard people use words tonight like student-centered and achievement-centered to describe Mr. Hardison tonight, but I think the best word of all to use is love. He loved his students, and they knew it, they never doubted it, and that's why he was able to bring out the best in them and also in all the rest of us around him. Love is patient, love is kind, he exhibited those qualities, not just to his current students, but even to future students like my 7-year-old who would come with us to the PTSA meetings. He would always be willing to take time and talk to him. And I think that all of us responded to that love that he showed for those around him.
Mr. Hardison was probably the best person I knew as an administrator, and he always said to me that every student is the best that West Potomac has to offer. So we should all be willing to understand that we're all still students and we're always learning. And whether you go to West Potomac or whether you're grown and you're out of here or you're going anywhere else, we all have the potential to exceed better than what we think we do. And he always brought that out in people.
I was fortunate to have Mr. Hardison's mentorship over the years. He was the one who took a risk on me in hiring me back to West Potomac as an assistant principal. And I remember vividly, as one of the teachers on the panel that helped select him to be principal, meeting with him at TJ to talk about what he wanted to accomplish for the school and the community. And of all the things I could say about Cliff Hardison, vision was his strength. He cared deeply about all kids and making sure there were opportunities for all kids. And I'm fortunate to have had the chance to work with him to be able to get a sense of what I should have in terms of vision for all student success. We miss him greatly. We know that he's watching over us in our community wherever he is, and we hope to carry forward that vision into the future.
I'd like to thank Mr. Hardison for his dedication, for his caring for the community and for the students. Thank you for caring for my family and for being an inspiration to everyone who ever got a chance to be in your presence. You made a difference, and I just thank you. You were a blessing and you are a blessing.
The thing about Cliff was that he was a man for others. He was somebody who seemed like he had endless energy. When it came to people, there was no greater issue of importance than being there for whoever it was. And as an advocate in the community, I always looked at Cliff as being the person who understood our kids, all of them, and understood how to meet them where they were at and take them along a path which would get them to realize their potential. And as a parent, you look at that and you say, what greater gift have we been given than someone that is inspired to do that for our children? And he looked at it as he had 2,330 kids. So I look at them as life's blessings.
I just wanted to share with folks in general how important he was in my life, particularly my education life. It's a fairly new part of my life. I've been doing it for the last really 15 years, and my involvement with West Potomac was really deeply connected to Cliff and his mentoring of me and his sharing of how the system works and how to talk with people and how to share and connect and really build, you know, relationships with school community members. Kids especially. I was a parent and my kids were here, that's how I was connected. But also as PTA president, where I didn't really understand the larger administrative issues, and Cliff Cooley helped me to understand how those things can work with you and sometimes can work against you. The wonder of this is that he was only here for the first year that I was PTA president, and then he went to Hayfield, but we kept talking and connecting after that point. And when I got on the school board, you know, it's like we'd never ever stopped seeing each other. I mean, we immediately started reconnecting and immediately started really enjoying, and he could share with me a much greater audience, a much greater understanding of this new world that I was now entering, that of being a school board member and being having to understand, you know, the school system and administrators and all that comes with that. So the joy never left Cliff. The boundless energy, the casualness, and the intensity at the same time, that was really the hallmark of how he worked with me and with kids. And I don't ever recall a conversation with Cliff where he wasn't kind of lobbying me or talking with me about something that we needed to be doing. And I always appreciated that because that's how I learned. And I always especially respected that because I knew It came from deep thought and deep engagement by him and what he felt the school and kids needed to be better and to be more successful. So his gift to me was that knowledge, that understanding, that awareness, and for that I will never be able to thank him enough.
As I reflect on a fond memory of Mr. Hardison, I have to look at the opportunities that he presented himself in my room to just say hi, and it turned out to be a presentation. He felt that I was the essence of West Potomac, and today he's going to be surprised that the letter he wrote me is a letter that's going to represent him as I MC this celebration. It's been a great learning experience, and I have not stopped cherishing the memories of Mr. Hardison.
Mr. Hardison, my memory of him is every time I saw him in the hallway, he always spoke hi varsity, and I always would speak back, hi Mr. Hardison. And sometimes we would exchange emails like Thanksgiving, Easter, Labor Day, just off holidays. And I always would write back to him, you enjoy your family as well as you're asking us to enjoy our families. So he was such a nice man. I really miss Mr. Hardison. I know his first name's Cliff, but I liked Mr. Hardison. And he always spoke hi varsity. I could be rushing to class. He always took a minute to say hi varsity. So I remember that, and I miss seeing him in the hallways for that reason.